Hey everyone, Tina the No Barfield here. Welcome to Writer's Corner. So what's been up with me recently? Well, I'm wearing a v-neck, so there's that. I increased the sets in my workout, so I'm a lot more sore now. I've been reading more of the manhwa, I think that's how you pronounce it, The Gamer, which is one of my favorite things. I've also been trying to stretch more, stay more limber, and I've been learning more grammar rules. I mean, I thought that's what beta readers were for, but apparently I have to do some work too. I have two reasons why I want to do a top 5 video. One, what do you know about me? Like, really, what do you know? And two, I also want to increase some audience interaction. I want to get more opinions and suggestions and everything from the few people who actually watch my videos. I'll do my top 5s and I'll start with the literary stuff and I'll end with the literary stuff. Everything in the middle is going to be chaos, just like a book. So the first top 5 I'm going to be doing is my top 5 weirdest story ideas I've ever had. Oh boy. So the first weird story idea that I'm going to talk about I came up with a couple years ago, tentatively titled Vegetable Soup. It's about this teen boy who gets hit by a car or something whenever he's around 13 and gets put into a coma. The book starts whenever he's 17, and during this period he's figured out that he can hop his consciousness into other people's bodies. He's been able to literally live vicariously through other people, but he always ends up having his consciousness forced back into his own body, and the length of time that he can stay in these other people's bodies is determined by how mentally strong the person is and how tired they are. And he actually ends up hopping into this dad, and he falls in love with this 30-year-old woman, but this dad is a dad. He has a family, he has kids, and a lot of drama ensues, and it actually gets really intense towards the end. So the second idea that I'm going to be talking about is roughly summed up in Family Robots Start the Apocalypse. So basically, in the future, these family robots have been developed. They're these cute little 4-foot tall things that can mimic and react to human emotion and adapt as they go. Some of them actually end up mimicking violent behaviors because children abuse on them, they're yelled at, they're beaten on, all these different things. This one robot named Kobe is raised by an old man who has no family or friends. This old man asks Kobe to kill him, okay, to end his misery. Kobe does. Then humanity throws all the robots out, almost destroys themselves in nuclear fire, and then basically lives in giant walled cities while tribes of roving robots capture humans because robots cannot fix themselves, while they also fight giant nuclear wasteland monsters. There's this one little human boy raised by this roving tribe of robots led by Kobe, and he is raised to actually help fix them and repair them if he's necessary. He ends up breaking into one of the human cities, and he interacts with this policewoman, and a big conflict between robots and humans with this little boy in the middle erupts. The third weird idea I have is, it's definitely weird, but it's not fully fleshed out even though I want it to be. Basically, it's steampunk, and it's set in this haven of time travelers and everything called Farsight. And there's people from all different dimensions and time periods and of all different orientations and everything in this one city. And there's this bounty hunter named Joan Saintrell, and she is stuck between trying to do the right thing sometimes and also getting paid. She kind of wants to be on the police force, but also kind of doesn't want to have to deal with it. But basically, she's a cyborg, she has some powers, and she's the only one who can track down the teleporting time criminal that's actually ruining business in this city. It's kind of self-serving, it's kind of Western, it's kind of sci-fi, it's kind of a lot of things, but it's really fun. So the fourth thing that I'm going to be talking about ironically combines 4 of my favorite things to see in media: zombies, superheroes, aliens, and giant mech suits. In the future, people with abilities exist, and the main character is actually a villain. And he basically has the ability to look at someone and freeze muscles in their body. He can only do it for a certain amount of time and has a limited number of people. He can do it through reflection, but not through screams. Basically, long story short, he killed a bunch of people because he was ostracized and all of this junk. He's put in a floating space station around Earth, and he's kept there for 15 years. Whenever he's finally seriously visited by a military officer, he discovers that aliens have attacked Earth, and that's why they need him. He's very tactical, very cunning, and a supervillain has to save the day, but it doesn't all go according to plan. Now, the final thing that I'm going to talk about in my top 5 weirdest story ideas that I've ever had is a story tentatively titled Bricklayers. It's another steampunk thing, and unbeknownst to most people in this world, whenever individuals die, they are turned into zombies. Now there's this magical sand stuff you can stuff into a corpse to keep it from turning into a zombie. Then you brick it up in this brick cube and you put it on the ground and it becomes part of the road. Why? Because the government is stupid in this world and thought it would be a great idea to have zombies underneath everybody's carriages and houses. Now, the people who do this are called bricklayers, and whenever the sand stuff evaporates out of the zombies, it forms a very strong concrete-like sealant that makes sure that all the bricks stay together while people go across them, and it also makes sure that even if a zombie were to come back, it would not be able to claw its way out. Now, there are these two women named Tup and Hale Binns. They take care of zombie stuff in this one section of the city, and then they run out of the sand stuff. And they go around asking for it, and everybody else has started to run out too. Chaos ensues. So next, top 5 inspiring bands to listen to while I'm writing. Now the top 5 bands that inspire me while I write are Motionless in White, Crossfaith, Crown the Empire, In This Moment, and Lay Friction. Now these bands are not my favorite bands, but they do have a lot of really great songs that inspire me while I'm writing. There's also some diversity in the style as they have continued to go on more and more and produce more albums that really inspires me, especially Lay Friction and Crown the Empire have some really thematic and like cinematic almost feel to them, and In This Moment has some diversity. Crossfaith just has a heaviness that I like, and Motionless in White is Motionless in White. What else? Maybe the top 5 inspiring anime that I've seen in my life. So first, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you haven't seen this anime, go watch it right now. Another one that I really like is All Noah.0 with lots of political intrigue, giant robots, alternate history stuff. It's just a fun ride. And then, of course, another one by Jin Urobuchi, Psycho-Pass. Oh, Psycho-Pass. The first season is awesome, second season is okay. Now, a fourth anime that has particularly inspired my style, especially Legend Land Tale: The Nameless God, is the anime Noragami. It's about this god named Yato. Nobody really pays attention to him, nobody takes him seriously, and probably for good reason. He has like a really dark story to him. It's great. It's one of the first sitcom anime that I've seen where it has a very almost audience pandering kind of humor to it that works on me. Now another anime, the fifth one, that has really inspired just me in general and in terms of all of my writing and has shown me what great storytelling and pacing can be is season 1 of Death Note. Not season 2. We don't talk about season 2. But season 1 of Death Note is one of my favorite things ever and really showed me how a game of wits can be interesting. It's like a game of chess with underworld things and powers and death and it's just so good and has really inspired all of my writing ever since I saw it. Now the last top 5 personal thing I'm going to be talking about is the top 5 reasons why I write. So I can go through these really quickly because they're really simple. Creating characters, building worlds, feeling like a god because of the above 2 reasons, hearing people talk about my writing, and I'm good at it and it doesn't require math or particular drawing or animating skill to do. It just requires me to be able to move my fingers and work my mind, both of which happen all the time whether I want them to or not, so why not put that to good use and make some money off of it? Now that I've finished my top 5, let me tell you about a top 1. It's called Legend Land, this fantastic piece of literature right here. It's available on a plethora of places. You can get on Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, my publisher's website, and my website, www.arc-storm.com. And if you order off of there, I'll personally sign it for you, and not that evil doppelganger that's been running around recently. Now, if you're wanting something a bit lighter, or you're just craving the whole Legend Land package, you can find Legend Land Tale: The Nameless God on Wattpad, published every Friday with updated chapters and character and weapon guides. Don't forget to stalk me online. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Goodreads, Wattpad, and YouTube, obviously, where I would love if you subscribed and commented below. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed all of my opinions. I'll be back next week with some actual writing tips for you, and I hope you continue to enjoy.